Hello and welcome to this week's episode of Dadas Show, coming to you from Best Western Hotel here in Upper Hill in Nairobi. I'm your host, Ashiko Mbune. Now, the Dadas Show seeks to promote the spirit of sisterhood and solidarity amongst Kenyan women. And we do this by creating an open and a safe platform for women of Kenya to be able to discuss issues pertaining to their health, their lifestyle, their career, and anything that affects them in one way or another. Now, the Oxford Dictionary defines a blended family as a couple, the children they have had, and children from previous relationships. Blended families are becoming increasingly common in Kenya, with many even taking on to social media to share very heartwarming content. But what do we really understand about the dynamics of a blended family? Step-parents have gotten a bad rap since time immemorial. If you acknowledge, most of the fairy tales, if not all of them, have a wicked stepmother who has to be vanquished. Now, in some sad occasions, the narrative does play out in real life. However, in others, the blended family has grown to form a strong and very supportive unit. So joining me today are members of such units who are going to tell us a little bit more about blended families. What are the dynamics behind it? So as we continue to embrace this unit as the new normal, we will move on with a more compassionate approach and a more informed approach. As always, we welcome you at home to take part in this and any other conversation that we may have by joining us on all our social media platforms at KBC Channel 1. You can also reach me directly on my social media platform at Ashiko the host. I look forward to hearing your feedback, your questions on this topic and any other that we may have before. So before we jump into today's conversation, let's take a look at the following feature.
A blended family consists of the man and woman coming together with their children from previous relationships, automatically making one or both of them step-parents to the other children. Jackie Kea, a psychologist and life coach, says her infant child inspired her to start the Blended Family Network, an organization which provides support to people in blended families to build emotionally healthy and balanced step-family relationships. According to her, navigating a blended family is not always easy, but if one is intentional and puts in the work, it can be a wonderful experience. Unlike parents, the children in a blended family experience loyalty conflict and struggle with their feelings about their parents and their step-parent. Some believe that if they love or form a close relationship with their step-parent, it would be tantamount to betraying their bio parent. However, challenges do not mean that a family cannot be successfully and beautifully blended. But for that to work, patience is required. It is important to know that it will take time and work for a blended family to figure out how to handle the different areas of the family and to function wholly as a unit.
Welcome back. So if you're just joining us, today's topic of conversation is the blended family. As we mentioned before the break, we are joined by mothers, mothers who are part of blended families and who are making it work. Maybe they found the formula of how to make it work. They have insight and they have information that they will definitely be able to share with us today. So without further ado, I welcome Jackie Kea, who is the founder of the Blended Family Network and also an author. And right next to her, I welcome Mary Athiambo, who is also a founder of Kenya Stepmoms Support Group. And finally, joining us on this wonderful panel is Emily Ndeke, who is a counseling psychologist. We are definitely looking forward to her insight on our topic of discussion. So, and of course, I cannot fail to acknowledge my wonderful audience who take time week in, week out to sit with me as we tackle some contentious issues affecting women and girls of Kenya. So to get the ball rolling, I'll start off with you, Jackie. So to just put everything, okay, perhaps introduce yourself. I know you, but to our friends here and at home. And just to put everything in context, tell us how you ended up in a blended family.
Thank you for hosting me. My name is Jackie Care. I always call myself a mother of different shades.
Yes.
I'm a stepmom of 2, I'm a bio mom of 2, and I am a foster mom of 1.
Wow.
Yeah. So over 20-something years ago, I became a stepmom to 2 lovely kids. And after that, over the years, I got my own bio kids and also adopted my other niece, who is a nephew.
Yeah.
And it is from the experience and the challenges of the step family life, when I realized that it is actually different, that motivated me to start the blended family network. That lived experience combined with my professional skills as a psychologist, a counselor, and a life coach made me form the blended family network, where I can give other people support to build families like mine, but they're healthy and they are manageable for all the members that are included in the family.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
Thank you so much, Jackie. I mean, yeah, I think that's adequate motivation. And I loved what you said. Most of us, if we were in a position to use our lived experience to be able to churn out and to be able to assist people who are either, you know, getting into a similar situation, in a similar situation, or even contemplating getting out of. So thank you so much. We'll come back and we'll touch on some of the, you know, the nitty gritties of what you actually do at the Blended Family Network. So Mary, I'll pose the same question to you. You're also a founder of remind me the name of the group, Stepmoms?
Stepmom Support Group.
Kenyan Stepmom Support Group. Now, like we even said when we began, mtu akiketi chini asikie stepmom anafikiria, hey, you know, it's like from history it was always designed against, always vilified. We look at Snow White, we look at all the, by the way, is there a fairy tale that I've missed out, you know? Cinderella. Everywhere, we were always vilified. So, tell us your story, and when you heard you'll become a stepmom, what is the thought process? Ulikuwa unafikiria nini saa hizo?
My name is Mary. I'm a founder of Kenyan Stepmom Support Group, and also a founder of Semaria Company Limited. I'm a mother of 6, a proud mother of 6.
Wow.
3 beautiful girls and 3 handsome boys.
Wow.
I got married 18 years ago.
Yes.
I had a girl who is now 21 years.
Yes.
By then she was 2 years. Got married to this man who had 3 kids. The first was a girl who was 6 years, a boy 4 years, and a boy 2 years. So that's how it started. We started living together as a family. I got married to the man, and now I gave birth to other 2.
Yes.
Yes, in the middle of the 18 years, nikaongeza wangu wawili, bio. Sasa niko na 3 bio and 3 step.
Wow.
Yes.
So you have 3 biological children, 3 steps. Lakini vile mulianza hii safari wewe na mzee, there's a point you had watoto watatu under 10. Vile tu uliolewa. Tell us, share with us, what was going through your mind? Unajua mtu akiolewa saa hizo wanafikiria, honeymoon, ordinarily vile, how we like to think of things. Traditionally, you get married, you go on a honeymoon, then you start having babies. You were married with babies already. Yours na wa mzee. Akili yako, what was your thought process saa hizo? Ulikuwa unafikiria nini?
Nilikuwa tu napenda, according to pia mimi, the way nimelelewa, I was brought up in a children's home.
Yes.
So I saw it as fun, having them there, na niliona sasa ni kama tena, it's like God wanted me to do something that was done to me.
Yeah.
So I decided nikachukua with 2 hands, and we started our life.
Embrace.
Yes.
Wow. I mean, I definitely have to commend you. I personally think it's already, as a parent myself, it's already difficult raising your own children, let alone being brought for somebody else's children, and you're raising them as your own. And of course, now this is raising them under the glare and the spotlight of society and parents and teachers and everybody. I mean, I definitely have to commend both of you for the wonderful job that you do. Now, Emily, I have a question for you. We've been going on and on about society's perception of blended family. Where do you think that stems from? The attitude that they have towards, because sababu sasa kama saa hizi, if I start dating somebody na akona mtoto, and for some of these things it's inevitable. We look at our age, we look at, so we're a little bit older, so if you're going to meet somebody, most of the time somebody already has a family or you know, is divorced. But if you go back to your parents and you go back to your friends, there'll always be someone who's telling you, you're making a big mistake, which is most probably what both of them went through. You're making a big mistake. What are you thinking? Are you ready to deal with baby mama drama? Oh, utakuwa mama wa kambo. Why do you think that attitude is there in society?
What I would say is that even the names that we give these families or members of these families are the ones that put attitudes in our minds. Mm-hmm. Because we already start with stepmother, step. That already puts something not so pleasant in our minds. Mm-hmm. So it is upon us to even change the name. That is, if time and energy and studies allow. I'd also like to say this. The society sees a blended family and a stepmother as just stepmother or a family that is another family. But the common denominator here is that this person, much as it's step, it is mother. Biological mother, adopted mother, adoptive mother, blended family, nuclear family, it's our family. So the problem comes in when we fail to onboard the people who are coming into these families. Parents meet, they're already adults. Mom A meets Dad B, each one of them with their own children. But the problem comes when we fail to onboard our children. How do we prepare our children to know that you are going to fit in this family? Allow me to use the analogy of cocktail fruit juice. Here is a mango, here is a watermelon, here is beetroot. They have come with their own flavors and their own levels of acidity. But then we have to make beautiful cocktail out of it. The blender itself is like a roller coaster of emotions. So that means that you will take this here, take that there, and come up with a very beautiful cocktail juice that people will enjoy. So that's what I'm calling onboarding. If we onboard these people very well, we'll have very little problems to deal with.
From your studies and of course and your background, and now I'm asking you to change hats for a little bit. And your analogy and your experience, what can you draw, from your experience is perhaps some of the reasons why people have this kind of attitude towards blended family, towards step-parents. Why do you think that happens?
For me, I think it is socialization. Socialization happens through the storybooks that you're reading.
Yes.
The storybooks and the media that we have. That is how we are socialized. The stories that the folk tales. Even though we did not have the Cinderella stories, because as Africans, we still had folk tales. Our folk tales were also made in such a way that a step parent is wicked and a step parent is evil.
Yes.
So it came from socialization. If you ask me, the word step is neither good nor bad. It is the meaning that we have given it. It is true, I am a stepmother. That name has no problem. But now, if the meaning associated to stepmother, and even me as a stepmother, if I associate stepmother to evil, I will not sit here comfortably and say that I'm a stepmother.
Yes.
So most of us, I always say, most of us are step-parents in the closet because we are scared of saying the name. But the truth is, my kids have their bio parent.
Yes.
And even in the bio mom, we still have a prefix before mom, an adopted mom, a foster mom. All those names have a prefix. So does step. It's just a prefix before mom. And it is important for me to accept that so that I know I am not here to replace my bio children, my stepchildren's mother.
Yeah.
Their mother is so important in their lives that we cannot compete for the same name and the same position. In fact, children who their step-parents have to take away their mom, or they're replacing their mom, those children get trauma. It's trauma.
Yes.
Yeah. Nobody should replace your mother.
It's not even possible.
It's not
possible.
possible.
To be honest, yeah.
Yeah. So the word is innocent. The word is neither good nor bad. It is the meaning that we give the word. And we give that meaning because of socialization.
Yeah.
Disney today is producing step-parent and step-family and blended family
Yes,
content.
it is.
There
Yes, it is.
Princess Sophia. Is it Princess Sophia?
Yeah.
And Princess Sophia cartoon is so good that the Sophia is a princess because of the stepfather.
Because the stepfather,
Yes.
because the stepfather married the mother.
Yes.
Yeah.
So Disney has also realized how they socialized us with the wicked step-parent through all the Disney stories. Today, Disney is not producing the same
That's excellent.
stories.
Yeah.
So the society is trying to adopt a new way of looking at the blended families.
Wow.
Believe it or not, in a few years' time, blended families are going to be more.
Absolutely. I completely agree with you, Jackie, to believe it or not, because what some of the things that are even causing the rise, and it's not even talking about all people are getting divorced, etc. Many people are opting. Remember now, the Gen X, Gen Y, all over. Majority of us are preferring to work first before perhaps settling. Because the women, their goals have, the goals shifted, things changed. And so it's no longer taboo for you to see somebody getting married at 40. It's no longer taboo to hear someone getting married or, getting children at 40. So when that keeps on happening, then the incidences of blended family are on the rise. I believe that wholeheartedly. So it's best that we have discussions such as this, so that we can open up society to understanding that this is normal, this is what is going to be happening. Because we look at the rate of divorce, the rate of remarriage, the age people are getting married, and just, pretty
Teenage
much
pregnancies.
Teenage pregnancies.
We always say we have a very high rate of teenage pregnancies.
Where do you think they're going to go?
Where will they go? They'll go to school, yes.
Yeah?
But where will they go? They'll get married one day.
They'll get married one day.
Yeah. And then there's death.
Yeah.
All of us are potential. If at all you will remarry after death, that is. All of us become potential to blended families. There are so many contributing factors to blended families. And that is why the socialization and the media has also tried to change that information, the information that they pass across. And such conversations also are on the rise. And we have a lot of support. She's a founder of Kenya Stepmom, something that would not have been put in place.
She wouldn't even be talking about it openly, to be honest. Indio, you wouldn't be talking every time, and I love that. I think we need to take away, I think it is always the socialization of the word step. And of course it has pegged from how we were socialized, what we consumed in terms of what we saw and what we believed in and what we read, that gave the very negative connotation. And I'm very happy, like you said, and of course kudos to Disney, kudos to the media, kudos to the content that is being put out there that is changing the narrative of how we view step parents. What are some of the advantages, and I'll pose this question to both of you, of being in a blended family?
For me, one of the advantages is, if at all the relationships are healthy, are emotionally healthy.
Let's assume that this is emotionally healthy. This is working. This is good.
If things are working, the child in the blended family has a lot of adult resources to support them in their journey of life. They still have their bio parents, and I am hoping that the parents are still co-parenting, so that they still have a relationship with their child, and they also have an extra hand of a bonus parent. Because of the step connotation becoming so socialized that we are afraid of the word step. Nowadays we can call ourselves bonus moms. So they have a bonus.
They have a bonus parent. It could be a bonus mom. It could be a bonus dad.
It could be a bonus
dad.
This
child has access to 4.
4, yes. Or 3.
Or 3.
That adults that care about her or him, and they can support her or him in their lives. So that's an advantage to the child. And that means that the adults in these units have to be having a healthy working
yeah.
relationship. Yeah.
I love that. You know, do you have any other advantage to the situation?
I do.
Yes.
I think it's also an honor
Yeah.
for me to walk the journey of life in my stepchildren's life.
Yes.
Yeah. It's just an honor for me to be that person, like a parent to them. Yeah.
Wow, I think that must be an honor. I think the mom, and then you're raising these children. You know, like for instance, both of you have raised these kids when they were all, you know, you people, your marriages are long. You know, you're 20-something, 18 years. So you've seen these kids when they were small till now.
Yeah.
I mean, nobody can take that away from you
Yeah.
because you have played your role and you have definitely served a purpose. So I'll come to you, Councillor. You know, in the general outlook of things, what are some of the advantages that people do not know about blended families?
Thank you, Ashiko. I believe there's beauty in diversity.
Yes.
I want to imagine that different cultures, different family parenting styles, different attachment styles come together.
Yes.
And you form a very beautiful blend. That already is a diverse way of doing things. There is beauty in diversity. Something else, socialization, as Jackie has said. If you look at it, a child who has grown up in a blended family and already exposed to other members of the family, maybe Jackie has come in with this child, the father has come in with another child. The way they relate will prepare them to easily relate with others outside of the family setting, outside of their home. So socialization becomes easier for them, and they also learn to take on other people in society. So blended families are beautiful.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, I agree with you completely, and I hope, I mean, this is a mind blown for me. So I hope at home you're also seeing some of the advantages and why we need to embrace. Now, before we go on a break, what are some of the challenges?
There are so many challenges that are in a blended family. But I'm going to say one.
Yes.
And I feel like this is what makes all the other challenges come to place.
Yes.
It is understanding that your family is different.
Yes.
Your family is not like the other families. So understanding that it is different, because we come to this blended family and we want it to function exactly the way both bio parent and bio children would function. And we will hit a roadblock because the family is not family. Because it is actually different. So understanding that your structure of your family is different. That's, I think, one of the major challenges that causes all our other issues. It makes step-parenting hard, it makes bio-parenting hard, it frustrates stepchildren, also feel frustrated. They feel like you're an evil step-parent because you're forcing things.
What happens with when a bio mom wants to take her daughter maybe for a trip? So, and then now everyone else is saying, why are we not going? And the other families are saying, why? Kwani mulienda trip ngapi? Huyu alienda huko, huyu alienda huko. But I think what you said, it starts from there, understanding that the dynamics with our family, and like we began saying, the dynamics are different.
Yes.
And it does not mean that there's anything wrong with that.
No.
It is what it is.
What makes a family is when your spouse is supportive. Tena challenge inakuwa kubwa sana kama spouse si supportive. Na ndio spouse akuwe supportive, spouse anakuwa katikati. Alali huku sana na pande hii sana. Ako katikati always.
Because I think at the end of the day, it takes two to tango. So, of course, if you need to support, partners need to support each other. When it comes especially to matters boundaries, especially matters discipline, you know, so you need to have each other's back. Because in such situation, people are so prone to manipulation, people are so prone to being sidelined. I mean, like, vile ulisema, challenges ni mob. Anyway, we're going to take a short break, and then we will be back for the question and answer session. I hope you are learning as much as I am learning on blended family, so we'll see each other in a little bit. Don't go far away. welcome back to the second part of Dadas Show. If you're just joining us, you have missed out on a lot, but don't worry. The episode is definitely going to be uploaded on your YouTube. And you can always find us on all our social media platforms at KBC Channel 1. Give us your feedback, give us your comments, give us your queries, and anything you think of today's topic and any other topic we have covered before. So our topic of discussion is blended families. We've learned so much so far. And of course, now we are ushering the question and answer session where our audience gets an opportunity to interact with our panel. So to start us off is a friend of Dadas Show. She's a familiar face. We like her support and her contributions to our shows. So karibu sana, Madam Sue. Asante sana.
Okay, thank you, Ashiko. And I'm very grateful to meet the two stepmoms. This is the first candid conversation I've had with stepmoms. And I've always wondered, when you first got married, there were stepchildren, your stepchildren, how do you present them to your family? Your parents, your brothers, your sisters? Do you take your kids and go home and leave them behind? Or do you take all of them? I've always wondered that situation. How do you handle it? Yeah.
Thank you so much, Sue. And I know those are some of the questions that normally go through many people's mind. How do you handle some of these dynamics? Remember, we said the dynamics are different. So, but I will let Jackie tackle that one, and then Mary can. How do you handle introducing? Maybe let's say on the onset. On the onset of the relationship, how did you handle introducing, your stepchildren to members of your family?
I think the first thing that you do is to mention that you have met somebody that has 2 kids. The kids do not go and meet your parents and family first. They have to hear that this is what I am planning to do. I am planning to get married to somebody who has 2 kids. And you give them the time to have the shock. If they have the shock, the time to discourage you. And it's not from a place of malice.
Of course.
It's from a place of love because they know it's going to be hard. But you think you're so in love, you think it's not going to be hard.
You're walking on sunshine.
Yeah, and then with time, when you introduce the man or the woman that you've met, you will also introduce the child or the children that are going to be part of your life.
Yes.
It is important for you to introduce the children that are going to be part of your life. And those children to also meet your family members. How else will your stepchildren know you if they don't know my people and where I come from, what makes me me, the different diversity of culture that she talked about? How else will they experience that diversity? So in blended families, the children, like we said, they have a source of bonus parents. They may also have bonus aunties, bonus cousins, bonus grandparents. Yeah.
Wow. I like how you put it, bonus. It's not like a see what wengine. So this is a bonus, and everything bonus is always good.
And I'm calling it bonus to tell you that we are not replacing their grandparents, their other grandparents. This is just an extra. Yeah. So it doesn't mean that when the relationship with their bio grandparents is over. No, it's not. They can also still enjoy it.
Yeah.
So the step dynamics gives you just the bonus extra relatives to have in your life.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. That is so well put. Thank you so much, Jackie. What about you, Mary? How did you go about introducing, the young girls to the rest of your family when you got married?
Just like she has said, this blended family is just a family like any other family. It's just a family of father, mother, and children.
Yes.
So when I'm going to my place, I carry my children.
Wote.
My people knows so and so akona watoto wa sita. And that's how it is. And the children, they know wanajua watu wetu, and they call my aunts shosh. They call like my sister. I have my sister here. They call her auntie. And even when they want something from her, they'll call her even from the bio and the steps. Auntie, I want this. I'm in school. Send me some money. Yes. It's just a family like any other family.
Let's stop, enhancing the invisible lines. Okay, so let's move on to the next question.
Hi, I'm Anne. I'm a caterer, and my question is to Emily and Jackie. In major decision making, like discipline, finances, which school to attend, who is supposed to take up the deciding thing? Who is supposed to decide what is going to happen to these kids?
A blended family is like any other family. Courting in a blended family is just the way you date in the other families too. So there are pertinent, important questions and topics that you need to discuss as a couple when you're dating and courting. And that is going to be things that are fundamental about the family that you want to build. If you're dating and you know that you're going to get married, then you need to start talking about what are your expectations about finances.
True.
What do you think about schools that our children will go to? How about parenting? What are the values that you'd want our children to have? So a relationship is a bedrock of negotiating. Yes. And that is the negotiations that you have to do as you build the family that you'd want to build. So I might take the lead in this position, in this decision making. Somebody else their decision might take the lead, but we've just negotiated and come up with, negotiating and compromise, and come up with the decisions that are important for our family. The decisions that will make every member of our family be happy and emotionally stable. So to answer her, I think what you need to do is to have those fundamental discussions. But most of us don't have those discussions. We fall in love and we think love is going to answer everything. And then we get into blended family and it becomes so complex because blended family is complex. There are so many moving parts. And because of that complexities and we did not talk, especially about our expectations. I always say there are 3 types of expectations that fail us. There's the unrealistic expectation, uncommunicated expectation, and unmet expectation. Unmet, afadhali, somebody promised, but but the unrealistic one is you imagining I will get married to him and he will pay the school fees for my child. He will get in and do family roles. But the guy is not expecting to pay your school fees. He wants to marry you, but the finances of that child is yours. So such things, you have to discuss about expectations before you get into the unit of marriage.
Wow.
Yeah.
I think that is so well put, expectations. And those are some of the things that even in any other relationship, expectations are so key. And I had never really categorized them in the 3, but I think from now on I'll start doing that. So realistically, like we said, if we're being realistic, if we're dating, so that you can also know. So for a second, get out of your head and get out from la-di-da-di-da and being happy and in love and have some very, very, very fundamental conversations. These conversations are normally typically very unromantic, by the way. They're extremely unromantic. Nobody wants to sit down and have them and talk about money and someone is thinking, uyu tu anataka tu nimwendo nimlipie school fees uyu. So have those conversations. From where I sit, that's what I see. Have those conversations when it comes to discipline. Are you going to discipline my child? Am I going to discipline your child? Do we do discipline together? How much is,
What is the role? What role do you expect me to play in your children's life?
Thank you. And I think that's it. And I think that boils down to it. Expectations, laying down everything before you go too far. Because I think some of the cases about even stepmothers, vilifying some of the stepmothers. Yes, there are some of them that, rightfully so, it happens. It happens because perhaps maybe someone did not lay down the law. There were no discussions that were had prior to that. So I want you to come in and love my child the way you love your child and do this and raise and this, everything will be equal. So you cannot tell me, Nani, Cinderella's dad didn't notice all these things happening.
No, because they marry you and they know that you have motherhood in you.
Yeah.
So wakitoka job wanaenda kukujua. Wanajua ameleta mama.
Na katoto kako hapo kanachapa.
Ameleta mama. No, but
Cinderella's
even
dad is not serious.
that on its own does not work. because I have not even built connection with this child.
Yeah.
So it is an unfair situation for the step parent and for the child.
To be thrust both of them together,
Yes.
and expect, because she's a woman and she needs
knows.
to have maternal instincts, and this is a child and this child needs a mother, then they should automatically pick it up and go. Wow. I hope you're learning something at home the same way I am. So on that particular, you know, what are some of the, you know, I want to hear from the psychological point of view. When we are talking about, you know, a lot has already been said, but when we're talking about her question, how would you tackle that?
I think Jackie has answered it so well.
Yes.
I just want to add something. She had asked about discipline too. Remember, this is a family like any other family. The parents are the ones asserting what they want in their children. So even during dating, just to add to what Jackie has said, you should agree on the parenting style that you are going to use. Maybe for your side, you had authoritarian kind of parenting, and the other side, we had a laissez-faire where you just do what you want. So you have to agree. This is the way I've brought up this child, and this is what I'm supposed to do. Agree. We are going to do it this way, and let the children know that there is no mom will not break the rules and dad will not be loose on this one. You stick on what you agreed upon. Yeah.
So our next question or comment is from Valentine.
Valentine, my question is to you, Miss Mary. How do you, as a stepmom, enhance good relationship among these children in a blended family without them discriminating each other in any way?
Hiyo swali ni nzuri, na hiyo ndio kitu imekuwa ikisumbua wazazi wengi. Kufanya watoto wapendane na wakuwe kama familia moja. To me, I'm giving my example. When my kids were small, when I go to buy clothes, for girls, nanunua zenye zinafanana. For boys, nanunua zenye zinafanana. Ndio usikuje na nguo alafu mtoto aone mbona ya huyu ni smart kushinda yangu. So I used to buy, even if it's shoes, for boys zinafanana, for girls zinafanana. And they grew wakijua mama kienda kubai nguo atabai zinafanana. So until wenyewe wamekuja kwa teenagers wakaniambia, mom, history yangu zinafanana mpaka lini? Hatutaki. Kama kuna kitu kama maybe kuna hizo beef za watoto, unawaita, you sit with them down and you don't take sides. Unakuwa mama, you talk to them, what's your problem? Na kama makosa itapatikana huyo wangu ndiye akona makosa, tutamkataza. Na not me alone, even the siblings watamwambia what you're doing is not good. Na kama itakuwa ni you don't take sides.
Let me ask you something, Jackie. In cases of discipline, like we're saying, and I've seen situations where, because I am overcompensating being a stepmother, I am very nice to my stepchildren, and I'm sort of copacetic about, I'm very, very wish-washy about my own child, because ataenda wapi sini wangu. So I'm overcompensating, I'm extremely sweet to this, you know, and a mistake has been done, so I sort of let the stepchild, because I know this is because of the notion of what is thought about stepmothers. So the stepchild is going to make a mistake, and you will let him or her, you know, off scot-free, and then my own child, I will rain hellfire on them. I mean, why is that? Why does that happen, and how can we rectify a situation such as that?
That happens because your bio child has a lot of grace for you than your stepchild.
Yeah. Anna choice.
Anna choice. Anyway, but that should not be the case.
Yes.
Ideally, what should work, and I think that will also help in enhancing the relationships of the children of the step family. Ideally, what should work is, as a couple, as you get into a blended family, you need to talk about the basic standard rules of the house.
That cut across everybody.
They cut across step, bio. These are the basic standard rules of this house. And these are the basic standard consequences if you break these rules. And this is a discussion that we are having as a whole family. Make it better by asking the children to add into the list of the basic standard rules of this house. Because that means that they will buy into the vision. They
Yeah.
were also they were included in the vision.
Yeah.
And the consequences of, if at all this is not done, what do you think should be the punishment? The problem is that most of us Africans, we think that discipline has to be beating. It doesn't have to be. Discipline means guiding. Discipline means directing. It can be the notice tool, it can be taking something away from you, but we are always narrow-minded that it has to be
It
a
has to be
beating.
kichapo. Na ni kichapo cha nyoka.
It doesn't have to be. So we can have the basic consequences that a child would experience if they break the basic standard rules. So if at all the child breaks those rules and we are here and I am there as a stepmother, the consequences I'm enforcing are not stepmom consequence. Ati stepmom alikuja na rules zake. No, they were the basic standard rules
That they all chimed into.
that we all set.
So it was known whether it was stepmom who was going to be home or
Yes.
dad who was going to be
This
home,
will
whether
be the
it was
basic-
bio child or stepchild.
Yes.
This will be the punishment that will be relinquished.
Yes.
Oh wow.
But during the initial years of getting married as a stepmother or as a stepfather, please connect. I always tell people, connect before you correct. You do not have the grace sufficient to correct a stepchild. You have not formed a relationship with them. I give an example of your friends. Today, if your friend comes and tells you that those earrings don't look good, you will hear. But if a stranger tells you those earrings don't look good, you won't care.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, as a step parent, form a connection before you correct.
Yeah.
Don't get into a step family and start being the disciplinarian. You have not
And
earned it.
enforcing your rules. And that's what I'm saying. I think we really need to have a part two, especially when it comes to discipline. Because like I said, if both parents everyone has their own style of parenting, they've come together. And I think that has been a thorn in very many blended families' flesh.
Discipline is one of the biggest
Discipline.
challenges.
Yeah, because stepdad has come in and stepdad is, he me thoops, he beats completely. And this is the way he has raised his children. And when it comes to parenting, bio, step, whatever, the last thing any parent wants to be told is what they are doing is wrong. If you want to start World War 14, that is how you go about it. Say, oh, your parenting style sucks. So I want us to dig deeper into that and talk about, if I have been raising my daughter like this, if I have been raising my son like this, and we've come together, when you tell me ABCD, does that mean I'm going back on my principles? Does that mean I'm going back on my values? Because I'm sitting down and I don't believe in beating. I don't believe in yelling. I believe in gentle parenting. And this is what I believe. This is in the core of me. Then I meet somebody who is spare the rod and spoil the child. How do people get to that? Those are some of the questions that we will be tackling in our next, on part 2 of Blended Families. Just so we can be able to help those who are getting in it, those who are already in it. Because I know right now we are asking that and someone is listening to Jackie and going like, nalijuaje? How do I go that? So I think it's definitely a conversation that needs a retake. So our next question before we wind down this episode is from Byron.
Okay, thank you, Ashiko. And my question is to Jackie. See, when we talk about the vilification of the step family situation, the stepmom has been painted as the villain in very many situations, more than the stepdad. So why is this?
Thank you so much, Byron. That's a very valid question. I know it may seem like it's semantics, but the reality qua ground is stepmothers get a bad rep compared to stepfathers, So please, Fafanua, why do you think that happens?
Thank you, Ashiko. And I'll just go back to what Jackie had told us at the beginning. It is the problem with socialization. We have always known that the stepmother is bad. Even in the stories that we are sharing, the Cinderella story. And I remember growing up so many years back, there used to be this musician called Remi Surambaya. He sang a song, Mama Wakambo na Baba Wakambo, Yupi Mbaya.
Yupi Mbaya.
I don't actually remember the conclusion, but in the minds of many, although I was not in those minds, but I want to conclude that they will say the stepmother is bad.
Yeah.
But things are changing now, especially using the modern forms of entertainment, like what we are seeing happening in Disney World. Things are changing. It is not just anybody can be bad and anybody can be good. It doesn't have to be the man is good. No. Anybody can be, and anybody can change.
Yeah.
Yes, anybody can change.
My name is Joseph Uhuru. And my question goes to Jackie. How do you support the child to cope with a new family?
Thank you so much for that question, Uhuru, and we'll get a response from Jackie.
That was a nice question that Uhuru asked. Remember, we form blended families from adults. Adults form blended families. We don't consult our children, but our children are the ones who suffer the blended family challenges also.
Yes.
So as much as we are seated here saying that blended families are challenging to stepmoms, blended families are challenging to the stepmom. There are challenges that the stepchildren go through, and there are challenges that the bio parent goes through. All the individual sets of this family has a unique challenges that they go through. So it is up to us as adults who meet, court, date, and make
And
our
marry.
children stepchildren
Yes.
to also ensure that we are supporting these children to adopt into this thing that we are the adults formed. Let's take the simple thing about how do you even know that you are becoming a stepchild. In African homes, you just wake up one day and you're told, wacha kuita huyo auntie, sasa ni mom.
That is the truth, yeah.
Sasa anza kuita uncle, dad.
Huyo ni baba sasa,
Yeah.
na huyu ni mama, true.
Nobody prepares you for the step family living. Nobody prepares you for the step parent conversation. The bio parent does not talk to the child and tell them this is what is happening. The single parent who gets married does not prepare their child for the new family that they're going to form. And apart from that, the bio parent in the step family, some even forget to continue nurturing the bio relationship that they have with their child.
Yeah.
Why? Because of wamepata wife, ama
Akona
amepata
wife
husband.
ama husband.
Yes.
Sasa someone has already been, shoved to the side.
So there are several other things that parents or the adults who form step families have to put in place to support the children to adopt to the changes that are happening in their lives. Yeah. Because being a stepchild is not easy.
So we have come to the end of today's very interactive, informative, and very insightful show. And my 2 cents, as usual, is, it takes a lot of courage, it takes a lot of understanding, and it also takes, and definitely love to help raise somebody else's child. And to many people, to many step-parents, it normally feels like a thankless job. You're constantly being judged, you're constantly being scrutinized, and you're constantly being misunderstood. So today, I want to salute all of you step-parents out there. You don't always get the praises that you deserve, but we see you, we appreciate you, and we value you. Whatever you're doing, keep doing it, for the benefit of the generations to come. So remember, you can always share all your thoughts and opinions and queries that you may have to KBC Channel 1. You can also interact with me personally at Ashiko the host across all social media platforms. So on behalf of the production team at KBC, my location partner, Best Western Hotel Upper Hill here in Nairobi, and myself, Ashiko Mbune, my wonderful audience and panel, we wish you all a lovely week, and we will catch you same time, same place next week. Bye for now.